for future use.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, sir. Can you see and hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Can you state your name and DOC number for the record, please?
My name is Matthew West. My DOC number is 217912.
All right, Mr. West, my name is Mr. Helbig. On the screen with me are my colleagues, Ms. Fields and Mr. Dayglow. We're the three parole board members that will be making a decision in your case. When you last saw the board, it was 9 months ago, and you saw two board members. The law changed July 1st, which requires three of us now. Okay. That's why you're seeing three on the screen. That's yes, the only reason, is that the law changed. This hearing is going to function. I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, okay. This hearing is going to function the same way it did 9 months ago. I'm going to read your resident record card. After that, we'll talk about some of your crimes. More importantly, you were deferred for 9 months and told to maintain clear conduct. And 3 days later, you took a weapon to another inmate. So we're going to spend some time on that for sure.
Yes. I believe I could save us some trouble and some time if y'all would just allow me 1 or 2 minutes to speak real quick.
Absolutely. Go right ahead, sir.
All right. As you said, I have met with y'all before. I met with y'all many times. Some of them I thought I was ready to go. Maybe not. But today we're here to talk about this time. I know the purpose of paroling someone, individual, is to release them into the optimal or close to optimal conditions that would allow them to reintegrate into society and to become productive members. I have, since meeting with y'all last time, tried very hard to ready myself for that and to become that person. However, I am self-aware enough and conscious enough to know that right now is probably not that time for me and not them optimal conditions. I have been taking some classes. I would like a chance to finish those classes. As you said, I was in that altercation and have some outstanding legal issues because of it. I would like a chance to be able to settle those legal issues. So really what I'm asking for right now is not parole, but, 6 to 9 month time to be able to settle my legal issues and be able to finish my classes and to be able to prove to myself and you all that I can become that person.
Okay. Sir, I greatly appreciate your statement. I appreciate your awareness. Okay. But unfortunately, the way the system is set up, I don't have the ability to just blatantly waive and give you a deferment without conducting a hearing. Now, we won't get as in depth maybe in some of the other issues that we normally would, but I'll be honest, we're going to talk some more about it. But
yes, sir,
for what you've done 3 days after being told, because your assault, if I'm reading it correctly, was you took weapons to the fight. So you weren't just defending yourself. You took weapons to a fight. And, yes, sir, I got to tell you, that's not a 6 month deferral in my eyes. That's not a 9 month deferral in my eyes. Okay. Those would get you a longer deferral than that. Now, I do take into consideration that you've had only one write-up since then. That's a step in the right direction. You are making progress. And you are doing programs. That's also beneficial to you. So I appreciate the fact that you're aware, but we're going to go ahead and do an interview. We're going to do your hearing because that's what you deserve. First of all, there's some legal requirements on our part, but that's what you deserve too. I appreciate you and I appreciate your statement today. There are very few inmates that come in here that aware of their situation that they need to make that kind of statement. That's a big statement for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we won't spend a lot of time. We'll do somewhat of a quick hearing, if that's okay with you, and
Absolutely.
that way we're on the record. We do the things that we need to do. Okay.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
But let me read your card. Let me make sure you're who you are, and we're doing everything right to the right person, and then we'll go and deliberate and come back and give you a decision. Okay. Um, so what I've got is Matthew West. You're 37 years old. You're at Eastern Kentucky Correctional. You're in a medium custody status with a parole eligibility of 3 of 25. You're serving a 23-year sentence for burglary first, receiving stolen property firearm, burglary third, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, fleeing and evading the police in the first. You have served 8 years, 7 months, 11 days. You have 6 years, 6 months, 19 days remaining. I show that you have lost 730 non-restorable good days. You were on parole once from 2019 to 2021. Then you came back, and you do have that pending 2024 detainer of PFO second and assault in the first degree. Okay. Is there anything on there that's not correct?
I don't believe so. No, sir.
Okay. So what we'll do, Mr. West, you've been on parole for the first two crimes, the burglary and the receiving. Then you got out. While you were on paper, you committed an additional burglary and evidently probably took a weapon from that burglary, or did you take a weapon into the burglary?
A weapon was found. I was squatting in a house, and a weapon was found in that house, and that
Okay.
was the weapon. All right.
Okay.
It was not found on me. It was not. I did not have a weapon. I did not take the weapon. It was found in the house I was squatting in.
Okay, fair enough. And then I'm guessing you ran from Louisville Metro at that time, and that's
Yes,
the
sir.
fleeing. Okay.
I did.
You know, here's the thing, Mr. West. I'm not here to preach to you because you came in with some pretty self-awareness there. You 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 seem like you were in a bad situation. You didn't have a place to live, so you squatted. You caught these additional charges. If you would have simply maintained some good conduct and done some things, you absolutely would have been probably granted a parole opportunity this go around, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you're self-aware, and I appreciate that. Realize that it's your decisions that keep tripping you up, right?
Yes.
Tell me about your mental health. Where are you at in your mental health right now?
Right now, my mental health, I believe I'm in a pretty healthy spot.
Okay.
Like I said, I've been doing a lot of these classes, a lot of the MRT classes. I've close to finishing my 5th MRT class. It's they really help dig down into the issues of why you do some of the things you do and your mindset at different times in your life, your good times in life, your bad times in life, the conditions of them times and how you react to them. So it really helps you develop yourself and find out who you are under different conditions and to better react to future conditions or to even more be able to kind of help prevent a lot of conditions from ever becoming to begin with by becoming aware of seeing the kind of the domino effect or the steps that how something grows and evolves. It helps you go back to the beginning of things to where you don't allow that evolution and that growth to begin again, to where you're never put in that reacting to another bad situation, because you've stopped it way down the road before that evolution could take place.
You set yourself up for success and you build the foundation, then you usually have less problems.
Right.
There's no doubt about it.
All right.
Okay.
You said it much simpler than me, but yeah.
That's okay. That's okay, Mr. West. Are you on any medication for psychiatric at all?
No.
Are you taking any meds? Okay. All right. I'm looking at a recommendation from back in 2022 for a SAP program. Do you have any kind of drug issues?
I don't. I did SAT back in 2008.
Okay. When was the
From
last time you used an illegal drug?
last time that would be, I don't know, probably about I don't know, 2.5, 3 years ago.
Okay, so it would have been while you were out on paper squatting.
Um, no, that it would be when I was incarcerated. It'd be here. I did some Suboxone here when I first got down here, probably about 6 months after I was here or something.
Okay. All right. And you just used it that one time when you got here, or did you just what made you stop
No,
using
there
it?
was a couple of times that I used it. No, there wasn't just one instant. There was a couple of times I
Right.
used it, and I don't know, it was the beginning of an evolution of trying to go down one of them roads, but it didn't.
Okay.
It didn't
All
pan
right.
out.
Now listen,
That's not what
I know that you have an assault first charge pending.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, and I can't make you tell me about that incident because I mean, there's jeopardy there. We don't run off and tell the courts what we have here, but this is a recorded interview. Is there anything you can tell me about that case as to what happened, or why there was an altercation to begin with?
It's something I wish never happened. It's something I didn't want to happen when it happened. It's not like it was something that I wanted to do by any means. I mean, you can look at my record. I've never had any type of, I'm not a violent person. I've never had any type of violence in my record. I've not been in a bunch of prison fights or anything. It's not something that I wanted to happen at all. I was living, not living, I was in my cell, who my cellie was a gang member, and I can tell you that I was under a lot of pressure to do something or else. I mean, that's the way that I felt. And I didn't feel like there was much of a choice in the matter, but there's always a choice. It was not the right choice that was made. And it's something I regret very much.
Okay. Well, I got to tell you, the three of us understand prison life. I mean, we get it. The prisons don't run the way we would love prisons to run. I can tell you that. But we understand. We don't condone it. Make no mistake. I don't condone any use of violence in any way.
I mean,
but I understand it's a different world in the penitentiary. You have to survive. I get it. I'm not condoning that. You're going to pay a price for this. There's no doubt.
Absolutely.
You're paying a price for it right now. Yeah, you're paying a price for it now because you're not going to be paroled today. You've asked not to be paroled, but I'll be honest with you, coming into this hearing, unless something drastically would have changed, we review all of these cases well in advance. There's not much about you, Mr. West, I don't already know. I did not come into this hearing with the anticipation in my mind that I was going to parole you because of how bad that assault was. Okay. And it was 3 days. It was 3 days after you had met the board.
Yeah.
So, but that's why I asked the question today. Does it make it a little bit easier in my mind? Maybe a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit. I mean, somebody still was pretty seriously injured because of the use of weapons. But you get put in the corner. You get put in the corner. I'm not going to question that part of you. Okay, so right now you've completed 3 of the MRT programs. You're in untangling and you're in parenting. You're telling me you don't feel like you need a SAP program. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fair enough. I look at the recommendations and I ask you the question and I figure out what's going on with that. So you've got that. You're on the waiting list for Thinking for Good. Regardless of what happens here today, get that class.
Okay.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Here's something else that you need to remember, Mr. West. We don't only just offer these classes on the inside.
What do you
Okay.
mean?
We offer MRT classes on the outside while you're on parole. So regardless of how long we defer you today, once you complete these programs, if you stay out of trouble and you complete the programs we ask you to complete, granted, you're going to catch a new sentence probably, depending on how all that works out. When you get out, which you will, you're not going to get a life sentence. So when you do get out, there are programs that you can continue to take to help develop you while you're on the outside. And those programs can be assigned by your parole officer and things of that nature. You've done these programs on the inside. Almost all of these programs are offered on the outside through the parole officer. So keep that in mind as you're going through. It may be that once you do get out, to help yourself be successful and maintain a good course, you continue to develop yourself and complete these programs.
Yeah.
You have a year of college. I'll be honest with you, once you get these programs and you kind of get your mind right, pick that college back up.
Okay.
Always continue to develop yourself, Mr. West.
Yeah.
I think you'll do a good job with it. Okay. So you got a couple of programs you're in. You've got a few programs you're on the wait list for. That's good on you. You have reduced your disciplinary after this. You had the one contraband. It was a low level. What'd you have? Some headphones? Or what'd you?
No, I had a bag of coffee.
Okay, so you had coffee.
Yeah.
I get it. You're not supposed to have it. It's a rule. Let's follow the rules.
You're right.
It's a simple rule, but you've gotten away from your high level stuff. I'm sure you spent several months in the hole after that assault, though, right?
6 months.
Yeah. So,
and like you said, I had 700 and something days, 2 year, I had 2 years of good time taken.
Well, I got to tell you, Mr. West, you don't have the record. We had a man yesterday that had over 3,000 days of good time loss. So you're far from the record of good time loss.
Well, I don't want to be nowhere on the record of it, though.
Correct. But. Okay, so let me ask you this: since you've gotten off out of the hole, and this was a gang member you got in a fight with, right?
No, I didn't get in a fight with a gang member. I was sent by a gang to.
Okay, so you were sent by a gang to do this assault. Okay.
Yes.
All right. How's your life right now? You still being poked at?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's part of just being here.
Part of being in prison. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, you really can't get away from the poking here unless you decide to be a gang member or something. I'm not, and I'm not gonna join a gang, So I just continue to get poked at, continue to pay a little bit of money here and there, and just try to be left alone as much as I can and make it through this.
Well, as hard as that is, and I know that it's hard, I'm telling you, you're making the right decision, because it ain't all roses when you get in the gang. They own you at that point. You do just as much as you do now, and you're owned. So we've had people all week that, I don't know how to get out of the gang. I don't know how to get out of the gang. They've got me. I don't know how to get out of the gang. They're fighting the same problem you are, and they're in the gang. So, at least you can keep your dignity on that part. All right, Mr. West, we're not going to parole you, so I'm not going to worry about your plans of where you're going to go. However, the next time you come up in front of the board, make sure you have a good plan of action.
Oh, absolutely. I do have a very good support system out there, a very strong family that supports me, so I will have a solid plan set before you.
Okay. Be sure to be able to, who knows who's going to be on that board. And I'll be honest, with this new charge that's going to fall on you, who knows when you're coming back in front of the board. But because even after we defer you, you know how that works. Your calculations change. So I don't have any other questions of you. Mr. Dayglow, do you have any questions of Mr. West?
Mr. West, I think I was on the board and saw you the last time, Mr. West. think I was really hoping that you could get through the next few months without any trouble. But you can do better, man. Just focus back down on what's important and apply yourself to positive things, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Fields, do you have any questions, Mr. West?
No, I have no questions. I just appreciate Mr. West coming forth and coming to the realization himself that he's not ready for parole.
Okay. Mr. West, sit tight where you're at. Let us go talk about it. We'll come back and give you a decision here in a second, okay?
Yes, sir.
Recording stopped.
All right, Mr. West, can you see and hear me again, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Out of curiosity, how quickly do you think you're going to deal with that detainer?
It's been moving very slow so far. My next court date is February 21st. I'm hoping in the next, 5-6 months, it'll be squared away.
Okay.
We'll be through the final steps and process of it, I hope.
Yeah. Have they offered you a plea?
Yes.
What was that? What was that amount?
10 years at 85%.
Okay. All right. All right. It's your case. You do you. Okay. The sooner you can resolve it, obviously, the sooner that clock counts and it starts counting for you, because that's obviously going to affect your PE date, things of that nature. All right. So we are going to defer you. I'll be honest with you. In my mindset coming in, you were going to be here for 2 more years. I was going to jump to 2 years. We can keep you up to 5. But you got your mind right. It seems like you're going in the right direction. Your environment's not going to change. You're going to have to deal with your environmental circumstances, but at least your mindset seems right. So we've reduced that. We're going to defer you for 15 months. During that 15-month period, we need you to finish the 2 programs you're in. So I've listed them as untangling and parenting. You're already in them.
Right.
A lot of times when we don't list those, guys are like, "Oh, they didn't tell me how to do it," so they withdraw from those. And
No, they're going to be finished. Yeah.
Right.
And
then I listed thinking for good on there as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for official purposes, this board's come to a decision that you're going to be deferred for 15 months based off the seriousness. You have prior felonies, prior misdemeanors. You have a weapon involved in your crimes. You have poor institutional adjustment with the fights and your discipline. You had prior drug and alcohol involvement in your life. You've got a parole violation. For that, we need you to do any programs deemed necessary by the Department of Corrections. We need you to complete untangling relationships, parenting, and thinking for good.
Yes.
I'm not going to put clear conduct down there, but I'll maintain clear conduct.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt you if you don't.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate your mindset. I really do. We don't run into that a ton. So maybe your best option is to keep your head down here the best you can. After you take that, see if you can't get a transfer to get away from your initial problems. That's a DOC thing. That's not us. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. West, wish you your best of luck, sir.
Thank you.
All
Y'all
right.
have a blessed day.
Good luck, man.
Thank you.